Welcome to the Evening Gamer. I'm Taylor.
And I'm Guy. Welcome, everybody, to episode 70.
For the 70th time. And last episode, when I said that episode was one of my favorite numbers, you said I was wrong. But I was right. It was
Okay.
69.
I'm glad that's one of your favorite numbers.
We did 68 episodes of this thing just to fumble on 69 and not be able to give that a good call out. Now we have to start an entire new podcast.
Oh, wow.
Do an
Okay.
entire 68 episodes of that.
I mean, we're struggling enough to do this podcast, let alone take up a second one. Jesus. It is episode 70, and for the 70th episode, we're doing 007. We are reviewing 007. There is some numerology there that makes sense to me.
I'm not going to try and make sense of it myself, but there's a lot of sevens and zeros.
That's it. You know, it makes sense to me. That's all there is.
Why and we have 007? Oh, that's just his agent number, isn't it?
Yeah, that's exactly right.
That's so is he just the seventh OG?
Yeah.
Did they get it right the seventh time?
Well, it depends. Like in the game, there is actually, you do meet some of the other 00s, spoiler alert. But then in the movies, there was a couple of times where other 00s appeared. In GoldenEye, there was 006 who went bad, was played by Sean Bean, famously.
Bean.
You know, who gets his head lopped in Game of Thrones, always gets killed. That's another spoiler alert for you if you haven't seen fucking Game of Thrones.
Shawnee Bean. I mean, that's the first season. If it is 2026, people, like there's a particular threshold that I don't want to spoil in this podcast. But if you haven't seen the first season of Game of Thrones by now, man, fuck you. Go see it. What are you doing?
I mean, my missus has only seen the first season. She's never made it past the first season. So
at some
point,
they
do exist. They do exist.
At some point, the shoe's on the other foot. You got to go do the work at some point. So
that is true. That is true. The First Night Game of Thrones show. Did you watch that one? What's it called? Oh, mate, that's.
Oh no,
yeah.
I
what's
did.
Egg
Duncan,
that one. Yeah,
Egg
really good. I haven't watched the third season of House of Dragon. I think I even stopped halfway through the second. I feel like I should pick that up. We're sort of veering into TV.
I love it how we got onto this by talking about Sean Bean.
I know we've segued hard here.
In 7 film.
Speaking of TV shows, Widow's Bay. Have you finished it? You've done the whole season.
Did, and loved the finale.
Good shit.
Really enjoyed that. That was a cute little, quirky, fun little horror show. Really well written.
Yeah, I've been getting into my horror recently. I sort of have gone through a number of them. Obviously saw Obsession in the cinemas. Have you done Obsession yet?
It's on the list, man. It's on the list. I've been just flat out changing nappies and feeding a new one.
Yeah. I can't remember if in episode 69 we announced, your news. I think we did.
I can't remember when. I don't think I had a kid at that point.
You do now.
I do.
There is. I mean, that's probably hence the hiatus for a little bit. It has been, T has got a newborn, and I've again gone through a turbulent period in my life, which has led me to have my focus elsewhere. But
we are on solid ground now,
in a stable place, and we'll get back into a routine.
Yeah, just coming back to Widow's Bay. You know what I liked about it? There's a certain strength that horror shows, I suppose, can have when they take that anthological kind of approach to it, like make it almost an anthology, even though it wasn't. Like it's very episodal, and characters throughout, but every episode had like the ability to have a different theme.
Yeah,
you know what I mean. Like I
know what you mean.
Yeah,
I mean, it's genius, really, of just touching on horror tropes, but then linking it all together. Like that's what elevates that TV shows to a higher level for me. It's like, each episode you're like, which trope are we doing this week? Like, is it the slasher? Is it this? The clown? Like, there's so many moments in it that just
they had the Jason theme with the guy. The knife.
Which one was your favorite? Which one was your favorite?
Oh, which one was my favorite? It's a good question. I actually liked the one where she went a bit batshit because of that book.
Oh, mate.
I thought it was a really
the
funny
Necronomicon, I think they call it.
Yeah. That I was like, the whole time you're like, something's going on here. This is going way too well for her. And it's just like, and she's a great character. Like if you go back and watch her highlights, she makes a lot of the comedy
She
in
does.
that show.
Yeah. Her and
He's
him
quite good.
together,
Yeah.
like, yeah, they're both very good. But no, I think the like I did like the clown one. That one did get me going. The sort of woman in the bay one who's
Ah,
like
yes.
chasing him. I
Yeah.
just like that had me like just when she like comes up between his legs. I was
Mm.
like, oh man, I was
No,
clawing at the couch. Like, it was so funny.
it really was good. But today, all about
Yes.
007. They got it right in the seventh time. That's crazy. But just before we get onto that, but I
Yes.
actually did you see the new Steam Deck came out?
I did. Yeah,
And it's
I'm
like
aware of that.
$1,300. Is that
Yeah.
standard for them?
No, well, I think the price of like, what is it, graphic cards or something,
Mm,
is really pumping up, or any hardware at the moment,
true.
leading it to be much more expensive. Yeah.
Yeah, right. Because I saw that price tag and I was like, that's for a because it's just a portable console, right? Like that's how it's meant to operate.
Yeah.
It's like the Nintendo Switch times 10, right? Like that's essentially what it's kind
Yeah.
of meant to be.
I,
And I just
well,
Well,
yeah,
times
I don't
10, but you
know.
know what I mean in terms of
Yeah.
graphical capability. And
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
I just saw that and I was like, that seems really just buy a new PC, boys. Why wouldn't you just
Well,
buy a new PC with like a 4050 or whatever?
yeah.
You could probably get the same price tag or
I
build
mean,
your own.
it's because it's portable. I mean,
Mm,
that's the draw card. I mean,
yeah,
sort of, it's crazy how far we've come in portable gaming.
it really
Like
is.
back in the day, you'd like, I don't know, when we were growing up, if you saw a kid walking around with like a Nintendo DS, you'd sort of be like, brother, like,
Get a
whereas
grip.
now, like Steam decks and these kind of things, like
It
it's
is
booming
crazy.
again. It is interesting.
It is.
What was I going to say? What have you been playing though? What games have been on the list? Let's talk about gaming. That's what we're here to do.
Mate, I started Subnautica 2 because
Nice.
I think last episode I floated it to you and said that it had come out. Um, it's it's like just exactly the same as the first, which I can see
Right.
it would get super super fun, I reckon. But like
Yeah.
just breaking through that initial kind of like first stage, if you will, where you're kind of like gathering the resources, figuring everything out,
Yeah.
getting acquainted with the landscape. I just struggled to get through it again
Oh, yeah.
because it was just like, and I realized this like when games are super super similar to their prequel, I
Predecessors.
just
Yeah.
lose. It's the same with Grounded 2 I tried, remember, like a couple of months ago. It's the
Yes.
same thing. The intro is the same. It was the same bugs. It was the same kids. It was the same theme. And I was like, oh
Yeah.
man, I did this for 50 hours already. And I finished that
That's
game
yeah.
because I wanted to get to the end of it. I'd say. Anyway, I've been playing Subnautica 2. It looks like it could get good, but it's just lost me. I finished Resident Evil Requiem.
Nice. Nice.
I'm going to review that soon. A
Okay.
hell of a game.
Oh, really?
The
Okay.
best
Like,
horror game I've played since Silent Hill 2, which granted isn't that
wow.
long. It's only
Okay.
about 14 months. But Silent Hill 2 that remake was amazing. It was a phenomenal game.
Okay. All right. All right.
Resident Evil Requiem was a hell of a game.
Okay.
And then just tons of RuneScape, man. I'm sure you'd be happy to hear.
Yeah.
I've been
As
thinking,
always.
I've been thinking Forza, but you know the problem I have, and this is to anyone out there that listens. How do people get? Because I, like you, I'm assuming we have one of those portable kind of steering wheel setups. So you got the steering wheel, you clip it onto your desk. You got the pedals that go beneath your desk.
Most people would
How
have
do
that.
people
Yeah.
make that setup work? Because my desk is super light. So if I'm throwing around a steering wheel, it like throws around the desk a bit. And then with the pedals
Ah.
below your feet, there's no way to kind of lock them in anywhere. So they just move around as you accelerate and brake. If anyone out there is like a racing car gamer that has that portable setup, can you tell me how you figure that out? Do you weigh
I
them
mean,
down?
like,
Do you strap them in? What's doing? Because I need a solution here.
Well, so like I've seen like on reels, like there are those people who like basically manufacture an entire rig around whatever setup they've got, and they basically are almost drilling the parts into wood slats or whatever and making, sort of they sit back, they've got a designated chair for it, the pedals all slot in, and they almost have an Xbox in a separate whole room with a giant projector or TV. You know what I mean? Like you can obviously go invest a lot of time and energy into setting up, but you got to, like, you can't, if you're just sitting it on the desk. Yeah, of course you're going to have that kind of experience. I mean, like, it's been the problem for years, those kind of racing steering wheels that you can sort of just pull out and
Yeah,
deploy somewhere. You kind of almost need to invest in building the infrastructure around those things to make it
100%.
enjoyable.
And I know there's a lot of companies actually do those setups now, where you can buy
Yeah.
the whole desk and the gear change and where
Yeah.
the monitor goes, but they're so expensive. And mate, if you live in an apartment, too bad at that.
Yeah, I know.
There's no way you're getting one of them.
That's really been what's holding me back. Like, because like I love the look of Forza and stuff, but there is a part of me going like, I don't want to play it with a controller. Like, it just doesn't
No.
make sense to me. Like, I feel like I'd be wasting it. So maybe one day when I've got a place and a room I can do that all in, I'll do it.
Have a full racing setup. I'd love to do the same. So it's like,
It'd be tempting.
It's with Formula One. Like you can't play it on a controller, man.
No.
It ain't the same thing. And like
I've been there and done that. And
you can't. And that's the thing, when I go to play it with this portable setup, I need somewhere for it to live. You're right. Because taking it out every time, setting it up every time, just do a couple of races and packing it back up.
Yeah,
so I'm not doing that every time. Sometimes I just want to sit in game and I want to think about it. Anyway, if anyone has a solution to that, please write in info@theeveninggaming.com.au. I'd love to hear from you.
I don't think they're going to revolutionize that. I feel like they're just going to tell us what we just said. But anyway, fair enough.
If you don't throw a lure, you never catch a fish, man. Okay. I came up with that just then. I'm sure there's 1,000 other different quotes to how shooting your shot is important.
Is that it? Okay. All right. Anyway, I've been playing 007, finished that. Lego Batman. I've been playing that with the missus. It's been fun doing co-op with that. And then I've recently gotten back into Diablo 4 because there was an expansion that came out on that one, and been enjoying that one. So today, yes, we're diving into 007. But before we do that, I've had a look ahead at what is coming up in July, looking ahead for July. And I do actually want to talk about GTA with you briefly if we can.
Yeah.
So games of July that have caught, sort of tickled my fancy. Assassin's Creed Black Flag on the Resync, so they're relaunching this with a whole new skin of paint and combat. I'm like, sure, like, if you haven't played it, if you're a more newer gamer, and you never did it to the OG, sure. If you really love the game, sure.
Yeah.
But like, it is the best Assassin's Creed, I think. It rivals that sort of Ezio in the, that first trilogy.
100%.
But, since then, like, it's been, all the rest have paled in comparison, really. So I'm not going to buy it, so I can get my money. I've played that game. I know what the deal is.
Do you reckon it's an Ubisoft kind of like, hey, remember when we did this great thing?
Absolutely.
Instead of like, hey, forget everything we've done the last 2 years. Remember this thing?
Yeah. I mean, I think a lot of gaming companies, it's like we're now doing a little bit of greatest hits, or sort of not.
Halo's back as well. Did you see that?
Well, exactly. I know. Another Halo, Combat Evolved in the new Unreal Engine or whatever it is. It's like, okay, like,
And the same thing for me, because I was Halo craze. Right? I remember playing all of them. I think I missed the original, but like picking it up from Halo 2 and 3. Great game, so much fun. Playing co-op at your mate's house late at night, or like doing the split screen, or playing it on a LAN when you're at school. Like, that was when that era of gaming finished, everyone felt it a bit. So don't get me wrong, like, absolutely love Halo, but exactly the same as you. Why would I go back and play that? And why would I pay $110?
Yeah.
I'm assuming it's going to be somewhere around there for like just the same game and granted, it looks beautiful, don't get me wrong, but like, why would I do that?
Yeah, like, I think it might actually be on the Game Pass. I could be corrected if I'm wrong on that one.
That would be refreshing, to be fair.
That would be refreshing. So a couple of other ones that I've seen. So there's one called Forsaken Realms. What is that called? It's like a third-person action game. It kind of gave me a bit of Fable vibes, so it might be one to check out. Empire in Decay, I think, could be fun one. I like this. It's like a roguelike chess card kind of game. Then Corsair Cove. 2.0. Yeah, exactly. Corsair Cove, which is like you build a pirate cove. I kind of like the idea of that. Have you ever really gotten into those kind of games where it's like, build an empire, a city? It's sort of the Sim City on drugs nowadays. It's like, universe, or sort of like, galactic strategy kind of games, like all that sort of stuff.
Only outside of Clash of Clans, not really. And like, I see
what?
I see the appeal, But for me, like gaming's about discovery and exploration. You know,
Yeah, yeah.
um, I
I
actually
can't.
what the fuck's wrong with Clash of Clans, man?
I just we're like talking about like these grand strategy like sim type games, and you go Clash of Clans.
It's the same. It's in the same vertical.
Is it?
Yes, it's strategy, build a base, kind of. It's just on your mobile.
Oh, okay. Sorry.
What do you think I
I
was
was
thinking of?
no, like no, I that was what I was thinking about, but I was thinking about it where it's like you had the three towers and you send your troops out to try and
Oh
take the
no, no,
towers.
no. That's
What's that
tower
one?
defense. That's tower defense.
Is it okay? But it's
That's
the
actually
same
called
company,
tower
is it
defense.
not?
No, 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 no. Clash of Clans is Supercell. They've done the whole Clash thing, man. They've got like three Clash games. They've got like Clash of Clans, Clash Royale. They got a
It's
different
Clash
Clash.
Royale. It's Clash Royale.
Oh, Clash Royale. Yeah, that,
Yeah,
that was
yeah,
their
yeah.
second. No, no, I'm not talking about that.
Okay.
Um,
Yeah, you're
they're
talking about the clans one. All
Mate,
right. I
they're a
got you. I got you.
huge company now. That game,
Mm,
that
mm.
Clash of Clans would be one of the top mobile games, if not
Oh,
the
for sure. Yeah.
like
I reckon it is.
Supercell
Yeah,
has made bank on that game. They do like
I can
battle passes
imagine.
and stuff. People are crazy about it. It's actually like
Yeah.
the way it plays. It's an incredibly well designed, well built game. But
Mm,
anyway,
mm.
outside of
Anyway,
that, not
yes.
really for myself. I used to play a ton of Sims. Obviously, I'm big on Minecraft, which is very like kind of build your own base kind of stuff. Not in the
Yeah.
same way. Look, they intrigue me, but I
Mm.
never end up putting one of them before another game I want to play. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah. No, I know what you mean. Like, I mean, Age of Empires 2 was, certainly the one that I'm sort of, I remember quite
Mm.
vividly and enjoyed playing. And then Dawn of War, and there's a new Dawn of War coming out later on this year, which will be fun. And it could be like, you obviously did Space Marine 2. I think you did a bit of that. So Dawn of War is basically an RTS of that universe, where you sort of deploy troops and maneuver and build up a base. I think the thing that always kind of irked me a little bit, which is a weird criticism of those kind of games, is like when you're playing the campaign and you invest all this time into build like a really cool base, and then the mission ends and you have to do it all over again.
Yeah.
And you sort of like, I'm sure like here write in and let me know. Do you know of a game? I'm sure there's plenty out there where it's like much longer term, where it's
Mm.
like, you sort of, I'm sure SimCity would be it, but you do want a little bit of
Yeah.
like stakes in the game where you could get invaded or something instead of there being a meteorite. I don't know. Anyway, we're
100%.
going well off topic.
The other thing that kind of gets me about them is the level of creativity is limited, because it's kind of like in a lot of those games, a lot of the areas that you can build, or like the buildings that you can build, are kind of like prefab, like they've already been created for you. Sure,
Mm.
where you put them and how you go about the strategy is completely yours, but the level of
Mm.
creativity in terms of what you do with different things and how they look is kind of limited.
Yeah,
And that's always just been like, nah.
I know. Well, yeah, like there's sort of obviously the sim component of it where you build the house. It's itself.
Brick by brick.
Sort
It
of, yeah,
more
wall by
interests me.
wall a little bit, yeah.
Yeah.
But I think like the other thing is just sort of direction you can take it in, of like which sort of technological paths you go down, and sort of, and I think it's more just the addiction of progression. I think is really where it kind of gets you, of going, starting out as, you're just a villager, and then you finish with this sprawling, great Chinese wall type vibe,
I think definitely, like for Clash of Clans, that's definitely where the money is made. Like I started the game when I was 19. Yeah, I'm 32 now. I've had my Clash of Clans for 13 years.
Jesus.
And it's like, it'd be an account that's worth, I could sell it for like $1,500, close to $2,000, I reckon.
Yeah, right.
There's just years and years and years and years worth of leveling that stuff up, which takes a while, man. So yeah, like definitely that progression element is a huge part of it.
Satisfying. Very true. Very true. Should we get into 007?
Well, you said you wanted to talk about GTA, and is that because the initial price has come out? And
Well,
also,
yeah.
just before we get onto that, you mentioned Fable or Fable-esque games. Did you see the pre-order came out for Fable, and it's like 10 months in advance? It's like, hey, pre-order now for like February next year.
Well, I mean,
I was like, nah, man, like all good, eh? What?
I don't know, like I don't understand people who pre-order that far in advance. Like, I get, okay, you're really excited for the game, but how many times have we been burnt on that?
Yeah.
Just if you want, and if there's additional content, just pay the day before. Like,
Yeah.
and like
Pre-order forget
weird.
pre-order for cloud gaming makes no
Mm.
sense to me. The
Yeah,
whole point of pre-order is that, hey, put your order in now so that you can get a hard copy on the day. That
yeah.
makes sense to me. Like the last time I did that was for I did that for Modern Warfare 2, which would
Mm.
have been somewhere around 09, 08,
Yeah,
09. That was the last time I pre-ordered a game because like I want to get my hard copy from EB on the day that it
yeah.
comes out because you still need the disc back then. For
Mm.
cloud game, it makes no sense. I buy it now or I buy it on the day it releases. I can get it at the same time.
Yeah,
Like the only incentive I can think is that, like, okay, if it really drops like overnight and it does an automatic download for me, I might pre-order it the day before.
yeah,
But now I feel like the company needs to come and be like, hey, we actually need a bit of cash to like finish
yeah,
this off.
yeah,
If anyone that's a diehard fan of this game could whack in their pre-order, that would
yeah,
really help us finish, like galvanize this game, finish it. I think a lot
yeah,
of people are like, all right, I'll put pre-order in. But for
yeah.
me, inside of that, there's no point.
It
There is
does. It
no point in
does
doing the pre-order.
read like a bit of a cash grab. Like there can be
Yeah.
sort of no other that far in advance. It does sort of, yeah, boggle the brain a little bit.
Anyway,
But yeah, I
double O
mean,
seven.
so, well, no, I mean the GTA point.
Oh yeah.
That like they for us in Australia, like the price points are going to be what 120 I think was for base game, and then 150 for the ultimate.
I saw
And
79.99 US, which would be about 110.
yeah, like I mean, but it's obviously more. And do you remember on this pod many moons ago? I think when GTA pre it being pushed back, we did talk about how we would be willing to fork more money.
Oh yeah, I'll pay
It's
110
it.
bucks.
Well, are you going to pay 150 bucks?
No,
Are you going to go the ultimate?
I saw what's in the ultimate and I thought, I don't care. Why do I need what I need a
Okay.
cool car skin? And like it opens a
Well,
tattoo shop and something. I was like, man, I don't
Well,
need that.
that is the sort of the question of like this game, as sort of obviously being the pin-up poster of probably the gaming world, has put content behind the Ultimate Edition, and like I'm looking at it now, and it does look like there is more than just like a couple of skins. Like there is.
Fine, I'll pay it.
It's seriously like it's actually the most I've seen hidden behind a paywall like this that in a long time. Like there's a lot here. New clothing stores, tattoo stores, different gear, different weapons, different cars, weapon variants. It's like, okay, all right, like, I'm definitely going to pay the 150,
Yeah, okay.
like it's the only game that I would pay the 150
It's
for in
yeah.
Australia.
It's kind of like the only other game that I can think of for me anyway, and it's a massive multiplayer online. You're gonna hate hearing about is RuneScape. So RuneScape you can pay or not pay. And the
Yeah.
difference between being a member and paying to not pay is huge. Like it's
Right.
astronomical. Like if you don't pay and you're a free member, you get like 7% of the game. So
Oh,
I
wow.
reckon
Okay.
everyone on there is probably just a member. Otherwise,
Yeah.
there's no point playing. And so if they've kind of gone that route, all right, fair. But then my question would be like, just I don't know, maybe they felt bad just listing the base game at that price, and so they were like, let's try and give an option where it can still be affordable for people that don't want all that extra stuff. I don't know, but
I like it, it's an interesting one because obviously, like
yeah,
a lot of people are going to give him shtick for this of saying, why didn't you just put it all in the base amount? Like,
it's not very
it's sort of
Rockstar-esque doing this.
I mean, you're right. Like it is a bit of they have historically what feels like been by the gamers for the gamers.
Yeah,
They're breaking that mold a little bit, but in the weirdest way. Like, how many times have we seen ultimate editions of games, and it's like you get a metal skin, get boxed or something, or you get the soundtrack, or like
for like
the
$20
art book,
extra.
and you're
Yeah,
just kind of like, well, like, am I that fussed? Whereas for this one, it's like, okay, I'm actually kind of getting it more content, like, something in the game that I kind of would like to see and
yeah.
okay with. So
I
I don't
reckon.
know.
I reckon they're nervous about this.
You reckon?
Yeah, like I reckon that
I don't.
if you were to talk to, I don't know, if you were to talk to a number of big developers on this game, I reckon they'd ultimately regret what this game has become.
What?
it's become, and for them as a company, not for gaming and gamers and content,
Right.
but it's become what? Is it like a $10 billion project or something? It's something
Whatever.
massive.
Yeah. I mean, yeah. It's
There's been delay after delay. People have been working
yeah.
tons of hours, man. There's a lot of expectation here. They don't know how launch is going to go. Of course, it's going to go well, right? But they are in so deep now that I reckon they're nervous, and I reckon they're just trying. I don't know. I just think that that's what's going on, and like it's a okay attempt at like the difference between standard and ultimate. I'll give you that. I agree with that. It's probably one of the better ones, because you're right. Other games, it's like, why would I pay $15 for like one extra skin on the main character? That's so dumb.
Yeah.
But here, yeah, they've locked a lot of the game behind it. I don't know if giving the autonomy
Ooh.
there would like,
Well,
you
yeah, like I
know,
don't think I mean they haven't locked a lot of the
encouraged.
game behind it. Like I think what they've
No, the
locked behind
content. Did
it
I say
is
the game? I meant the content.
yeah, like there's just like I think there's going to be plenty of these shops, in-game shops you can go to and all the rest of it. But it's like I think it's a little bit more. You're paying more for a little bit more options and stuff like that. But I honestly like I don't think Rockstar is nervous at all. You know, like so
Yeah.
they've opened pre-orders. It's how many we're sort of 4, 5, 6 months or something away from when it actually launches, and I think pretty quickly we'll start seeing what the pre-order numbers end up looking like. And I think it's going to be through the roof. People are going to be paying hand over fist for this. Delaying it another year, I think, has only heightened the attention on it. I think Rockstar internally, that because they know what they can do. They know what they've done. Red Dead Redemption, GTA. They do make phenomenal games that break the industry. If they're probably testing it in-house, going, we've done it again. Like, we know we're going to be delivering some astronomically phenomenal, culture-defining game. They'll know it internally. They wouldn't be releasing it. Like they're the kind of gaming company that would go, it's not quite right. Let's keep cooking. Let's keep working on it until we get it right.
I just can't believe how big this is.
It's
like, I
yeah.
don't think there's ever been this. I don't think I've ever seen the community unite, particularly culturally, right now, over like the memes that every game would know about this. Every game is probably going to get it. Like, I reckon this could be your first GTA game, and you'd be getting behind it just because of what it means to the entire community in the industry. So, yeah, I've never seen a game launch like this. This is we can't predict what's going to happen. This has never happened. I don't know what the game's going to be like. It's almost like everything that's gone on. I've thought so little about what the game is going to actually be like. I've thought so much about what they're doing and these like 1%ers of like having a stock market in the game. It's like I'm actually just forgetting about what the game is going to be like.
Yeah, I mean,
it's going to be, because GTA 5 was a hell of a fun game. Like, is it really that times 10?
Yeah,
so
I mean, like that. The map size alone, like GTA 5 felt big, whereas GTA 6 looks like triple the size.
Yeah,
it is honestly like So November 19th, November 19th is the release date, and like I was thinking back when GTA 5 got launched, and I just feel like it was a top tier game, obviously. But when pre it coming out, it was like, oh, like there's another GTA coming out. And like other games were releasing around it. Like, whereas this one, we talked about it in an earlier episode, probably a year ago, how GTA was going to be other developers were avoiding that launch date because they knew it was going to impact sales. Yeah. Look in November, how many other games are launching within that month? Literally and there are fucking none. So like it
in
is
October, people are like,
you're right in that there's never going to be, until maybe the next GTA or the next Red Dead, a gaming launch quite to the size of this. Like, this is bigger than fucking Ben-Hur. Like, it is huge, the level of attention it's got. And, you're right to question, to go, is it going to land as good as it is? Like, is the results going to be as effective? But their track record is such that I think with confidence you can say, yeah, it probably will be.
Probably. We've just spoken for half an hour about catch-up news.
Fuck. All right, here we go. Okay, I'm going to do 007 real quick. We'll see how we go. Okay, I'm going to talk quick and fast. So,
Over to
007,
you.
developed and published by IO Interactive, Danish studio. They did the Hitman trilogy. And for those a little bit older, they did Kane and Lynch, that gaming series, which I enjoyed as a younger fella. So, IO knows stealth, they know sandboxes, they know how to build worlds with moving parts. You know, Bond does feel like a really perfect fit for them. It seems like a great marriage. So the storyline, it's an origin story. So they go back to a very young Bond. He's pre the 00 status. He's making his way through MI6. He's young, he's cocky, reckless. It's a new angle. You know, every other 007 game, you get a really established Bond. This one, bringing it back to an origin, great idea, loved it. So we're seeing him kind of earn his stripes, earn the gadgets, earn, you know, the title, the respect, and he's being taught a lesson sometimes, you know, by his mentor, by other 00s, by, you know, people he's coming up against. So the story does take some twists, some turns. It keeps you going. It is, you know, entertaining, and I'll talk more about the entertainment a little bit. Some of the drawbacks is there isn't a truly iconic villain. The villains are just kind of like, okay, I've seen this kind of villain archetype in a show, in a movie, in a this. You know, like you kind of want a villain that really captures you. That's sort of what 007 is, kind of a real trope now that's kind of been established in it. It didn't really have that, which was annoying. My other small grievance in this category, this pillar, is the plot armor. Do you know the term plot armor? You sort of, obviously it is basically what it says in the name, is within games or movies, you know, the good guy having plot armor. So, you know, things in a normal world where
Like staying alive for convenience of the
exactly,
story.
like, you know, you'd assume, like, there's so many times where this guy is cooked, like he's dead to rights. Enemy has him in their sights with a handgun, point blank range, and they start either fucking monologuing, or, you know, there's a delay,
Or
there's
like
a this.
they have an epileptic fit just at that
I don't,
moment.
yeah,
It's
like, or, you know, he gets saved at the nick of time, and you go like, okay, I know it's like a trope, but like, you know, once, maybe 4, 5, 6 times, like every fucking mission, you're just like, oh God, like it breaks the immersion, and you're just kind of a bit
100%.
over it. Nonetheless, look, it was a good, fun game, and I liked the storyline. That you know, the re-establishing a 00 like this was great take. So I gave it a 7.5 in this category.
Nice.
World building. So it goes through, you know, the world they established. There's so many exciting, like, it's probably the best part of this whole game is the locales the missions are in. Like, that's where IO, I think, has always done such a great job of going, right, we're going to take Hitman or Bond to this cool location, and they dress it up, and the visuals and the distance, and, you know, what you can do within those environments, and that you do feel like there's a pulse to the places that you go to, and they've culturally nailed it, and that I really enjoyed. You know, so there's, you know, intelligence facilities, training compounds, markets, hotels in great locations. It's really, really cool. And Bond, you know, he just kind of works his way through it and adapts in these environments. And it doesn't, you like this Bond, because the weapons you run with only has limited ammo. You're constantly having to adapt and like sort of take on a different take on it, or use your tech, which was like really kind of cool.
Yeah.
But yeah, so the sandpits, though, themselves, of the world building of these missions, Hitman games are notorious for building really large sandpits where you can play around with and take out your target using numerous different sort of mechanisms or styles. In this one, it was a lot more linear, and I knew it was more linear coming into the game, that, you know, because there's a story, it was a more linear path to the end goal with a few different, you could do it this way, you could do it that way, but there just wasn't as enough as I hoped there would be, knowing it was IO. It was more linear than I wanted it to be, which is a slight sort of drawback. You know, I kind of wanted massive areas, secret sort of areas, the collection to be kind of fun. Yeah, it just kind of was a slight detraction. So I gave it an 8.75 in that category. Character dev, it's sort of early doors, you know, young Bond, he's establishing the 00, so he does develop over the course of the game. The M character didn't really do it for me. You know, Judi Dench and some of the other previous M people who've portrayed that were fantastic, whereas the M in this one, I was just kind of like, nah, like, I don't know, I didn't vibe with her. She sort of didn't, own the scenes she was in. I didn't sort of look at her and go like, yeah, that was somebody I would kind of want to go into battle for. And there's a pivotal point in about 3/4 where she kind of makes a deal with the devil, and she just, it's never addressed. And like, it's a bit of a plot hole where she's like, oh, okay, yeah, we're just going to let him get away with all the fucking dirty dog business in the story that this bad guy's been doing. And you're like, what, to save face? Like, fuck you. Like, this, you're MI6. Are you serious? Like, it just kind of annoyed me a little bit. But anyway, one small gripe I had with this was that because they tried to make it so realistic, and the 007, so like the guy who plays 007, or the character in the first mission gets a cut under his eye, and the rest of the game, that cut persists. Like, it's a deep cut he's got, and he's now got a gash on his face. And you're like, great attention to detail, continuity, love it, no issues. But there's an early point in the game where his mentor on one of the first mission tells him, stop putting your finger to your ear when you're communicating with the rest of them. You're a 00 on a field thing. One, you'd probably learn that before you got deployed to the field. But two, he gets told, stop doing it, and he keeps doing it. And you're just like, well, if you're walking into like a market or wherever, and there's bad guys in there, and they're looking at this dude walking around, let alone talking to himself, you'd be like, there he is, there's the fucking secret agent, take him out. Like, that guy looks suspicious. Anybody talking to himself in a public area, you'd be like, have you got mental health issues? Like, what the hell's going on here? Anyway, I digress. 8.5 for the character dev. I could probably give it less, but whatever. So storyline overall was a 7.8. The mechanics and challenge. So, this is stealth stripped back from Hitman. It was more forgiving. It was really momentum based. That you could move from silent executions to using your stealth gadgets, taking a few sort of pot shots at enemies and taking them out from a distance. It is fun in the way that sort of even the combat and the fist fights were really nicely done, and you could use the environment, like, bash their head against a wall, and then kind of, or a desk or a window, the window would break. Like, it was like really realistic in that, which I kind of really liked. There was like 007 games are almost notorious for there being a driving component in it in one way or another. And in this, it was like there was one mission where you're just kind of in a parking lot and you get to use the car, and you're like, I want to take this thing out. Like, I think there is one area where you kind of do a bit of a chase sequence, but I don't know. I wish there was more driving. Like, the driving is a lot of a fun part of a 00 game. The gadget wheel was clever in that you sort of gain new gadgets over the course of the game. It did annoy me that you could only ever have like 3 at any given time, apart from like later on in the game where you get to use all 6 or 7. It's like, you're giving me these gadgets, give me a little bit of progression here, maybe where the gadgets at the very start of the game aren't as developed because they're investing in the tech and they get better as you go along. And then by the last mission, you can use all of them, not needing to select 3 in each mission. It just kind of felt weird to be like, to put training wheels on it. I don't know. Gave that a 7 for the mechanics and the challenge. It wasn't super challenging. The mechanics were good. It was fine. Entertainment, I didn't put it down. I basically blasted through it from start to finish. It hooked me. Really enjoyed it. Set pieces, really fun. Bond-style themes throughout it all. Really, really well done. You should check out the Lana Del Rey song that they did for it. It was a very Bond-esque kind of song, a good song for it. But it was quick. Like, I just felt like for $100, as I kind of said at the outset, really, I didn't, was it worth that price tag? I don't know. Like, with open world games now being like, you can spend 300 hours in this world for $100. You're like, yeah, okay, that makes sense. But for a 00 where it's a linear story, you just kind of go, is it really worth $100 nowadays? I don't know. But entertaining, really high, gave it a 9. So build, there was no skill tree. It's just the toolkit, which I've kind of already talked about. So I won't spend too much time on this. The loadouts, etc. No stat sheets. It's just about sort of, your tools. It's kind of almost simplistic in that way. Gave it a 7. The loot and extras. As I said, you can't really try. There's not a lot of replayability here. Like, the kind of pitches were saying like, oh, you could take in different devices and try and approach it in a different way next mission, maybe go more stealth, but you're just like, like, I've played it, I've done it.
Yeah.
The replayability wasn't really there for me. But there is something called a tac sim, which is like an additional simulation game mode where they're going to bring out additional content, and they'll have driving ones, stealth shooting ones, whole bunch of stuff. You're like, okay, cool, like a nice little add-on to it. But most people are here for the story. It's only if you really loved it will you do this tac sim sort of stuff,
Yeah.
to make you want to come back. And then there's collectibles throughout the game. But like, I'm not exactly going to want to replay the game to just get all the collectibles. I probably got around maybe 50-60% as I played through the game. And it did make me actually think, before I sort of give my final summary of this, because I've just smashed this out in 7 minutes,
No, you done well,
is
Ken.
that when I was younger and you'd buy games, because you didn't have as much money, you'd buy a game and you would play it to the nth degree. And maybe there wasn't that many games coming out around that time, and you'd sort of pick up a game and you'd pump it through, you'd play it again, you'd play it again. Even if it was a game that wasn't really that great, you'd be like, I want to get money for my, bang for my buck or whatever. Maybe it's now, and I'm sure, there's probably younger gamers out there who still do that, but now that you've got money behind you, my speed of just being like, fuck the tax sim, fuck the replayability, I'm not going back for the collectibles. I've played the story, put it down, deleted the game off the hard drive, moved on to the next thing. Like,
Yeah.
it is that quick to sort of move on nowadays. And that's probably me doing a disservice to the $100 price tag. But I would probably say, look, I'd wait personally for this game to be a little bit cheaper, and go down in price, and maybe not buy it full fledged as it is right now at $100.
Mm. I hear what you're saying. I don't know. I think that like gaming's changed in that. Like, I don't remember way back when, like, here's probably the best way to put it. New Game Plus is it's a very nuanced thing. Doing multiple run throughs of the same game, that's like a post to 2015 kind of trailblazed by Souls games and From Software kind of stuff, where a lot of the game actually unlocks in additional run throughs. You probably missed a lot of storylines. It makes sense to do another run through. It's a very, very new thing. I can't remember that being a thing way back when. And so I think there was the element of like, you'd finish a game and you'd put it down and that would be it. But I also don't think that we gamed for as long. I don't think they were as easy as they are now. I think gaming was a lot harder back then. I think it took a while to get through an entire game.
Yeah, you're probably right, because like
all the information you had, right, it wasn't just on the internet. Sometimes you needed to figure something out over the course of days.
Yeah. That's very true. Like, because back then, you think about, okay, you're gaming on the TV, you're playing, and you're playing, I don't know, fucking Zelda's Underwater Castle or whatever, and you can't work it out, you're struggling with it. Nowadays you could be like, okay, I'm going to open my phone, I got to go here. All right, done, sweet, figured it out.
Yeah.
Whereas when you're younger, you're like, what, have I got to go over to the computer in the office where my parents are working?
It's probably not even there.
Dial it up, get the internet spinning up, and it's like, dude, and then you're like Googling, or whatever it is on like Bing, or what's a precursor to Google? I don't even fucking know. I'm sure it's been around.
I don't think there was, dude. I don't think there was a search engine.
Like Encyclopedia Online,
the
or
library,
shit like that.
That's where you went.
Yeah,
the library.
But
no, I think so. And like, I don't know. Like, that's why I don't do that. Like, that's why when I come across a puzzle in a game, I really give it. I make sure I've at least tried everything that I can think of in the game. And then I still sit on it for a little bit longer and be like, am I missing something here? Maybe I'll even go back and do the level again. Have I used something like that? Rather than just Google, because I think just Googling it just takes...
It
wasn't designed to be Googled. It's kind of like, when you do a crossword, it's like, I didn't make this challenge here for you just so that you could ruin it.
True, man. It's a great analogy. Yeah,
you
like
could think about it.
That's
funny.
like exactly. Like
the whole point you're doing this. And I think
Yeah.
sometimes we get into this trap of like, I spent the money, now I just want to be a completionist. I just want to get this done.
Yeah,
it's like, I shouldn't be like that, man. Like, try and enjoy the, like, it's the fun truly is in the journey. It's not the destination. I think sometimes we need to remember that as gamers. It's in the journey. Don't race to level up on RuneScape.
Isn't,
Enjoy
isn't
the
that just
quests.
everything? Everything in life, it is about the journey. But yeah, anyway, so to finally put the thing on it, so Loot and Extras, I gave it a 7, which puts the gameplay overall at about a 7.5. So look, just to wrap a bow on it, if you like James Bond, this is a no-brainer of a game to buy. It is. It is, in my opinion, probably either the best or second best 007 game that's ever been made. Previous to IO, there was Activision, owned it for many, many years, and it did kind of just turn into a COD precursor where it's like you just shoot your way through levels kind of thing. Obviously, GoldenEye is the other one of just a cultural phenomenon.
Huge.
But this one is just a really, really good 007 game. The drawbacks are few and far between, and I'm really nitpicking to find criticisms for it. It wasn't, a deal breaker by any stretch. The only annoyance is IO, the company that did this, that did Hitman, did set it up to do a sequel. And they do, I believe, want to do a sequel. And I think this one commercially will be a success, which will lead them to go, we should do a second one. But the company that owns 007's intelligent IP has been sold to Amazon. And Amazon Games is now going to pick it up. So there's very likelihood that this will be a one and done from IO, and we won't see a sequel done by the same gaming company.
I'm so sick of conglomerates and bigger organizations leaking into these different verticals and industries. You're a logistics company. Okay, you did well in the TV space. Can you stop now? Game. It's like every time I'm on Netflix, like, hey, do you want Netflix games? Like, why would I want Netflix games, dude? No. Or like Apple TV, do you want Apple games? No. You do your thing, man. Leave gaming to the people that have been doing gaming for a long time.
I know what you mean, but I mean, gaming companies obviously rise and fall at a rate of knots, So I'm not too annoyed about Amazon coming into it. It's just like a shame when these things occur and you then go, okay, we're not going to have the
original
sequel,
set on the game. Yeah.
Like, I mean, if IO's done such a great job, it'd be great for them to do it again. But, you almost like Amazon, to me, I don't trust them. And think about their TV shows. Like, I've just Googled quickly going, what is Amazon's best TV shows that they've done? And you look through the list and you go, look, they're not.
Nothing.
Yeah, it's number one on the list is Fleabag.
Well, I mean, it's not so much what they've done. Amazon is the best library just beside Apple TV for all the movies. Like, you go on Netflix, you won't sometimes find a movie. Or actually, that happens quite often. Yeah, Amazon's going to have it. You might have to rent it, but at least it's there. That's all it's good for. I don't think it's even some of its original TV shows. I don't think.
But I mean, even those movies are you're buying. It's made by somebody else, and Amazon's just the marketplace where you can buy it from.
But I just think that I'm so over this of these huge billion dollar companies buying out smaller companies. It's think about Instagram where it is now, and what's happened to Instagram since Meta. Instagram was made by a much smaller company, a European company, I think. The idea was simple, right? There were no ads back then. Hashtags were barely a thing. Now look at, you scroll reels on Instagram now. You go through two of your friends or two, reels, and then there's 3 ads in a row.
Yeah.
And this is what happens when bigger companies that are just all about returning money to shareholders and they're publicly listed and all this type of stuff. It's all just clickbait. It's like, can we stop? Can small companies just stay true to I get it. It's not your fault. But do you know what I mean? I'm so sick of just these bigger conglomerates taking over things that are good, making them not good just so they can make money. Disney and Star Wars, perfect example. Instagram and Meta, perfect example. And now we're looking at Amazon Gaming taking over a beloved franchise. F off, man.
I mean, I hear what you're saying. I don't disagree at all. It's obviously in this day and age, we always know in economics, competition is healthy. It drives prices down for the consumer, competitive markets. But then obviously in the US at the moment, there is massive sort of, the or every time it kind of comes up of a competitive thing where it almost gets into a lawsuit kind of situation where they go, look, will this create a monopoly? They want to avoid monopolies. Obviously, as it stands at the moment, that market, they're being like, no, we're fine with it. So all these companies are getting, bought up, and particularly important with the media companies. Previously, you'd have all these various different media companies, and they have their previously probably not as hell-bent news and media opinions, political opinions driving it. Now they're all being bought out by billionaires, and they're not able to display the news as independently as they once had, because they're now being swayed in another direction. But we've gone well off topic.
We'll see what they do with it. For this game anyway, it was good by IO by the sounds of things. Pick it up, give it a whack, give it a tickle. Like 007.
Indeed. So overall, it was a 7.65, and it's a great game. I would just wait a little bit until the price comes down. That'd be me, but it's really fun.
Yeah,
really
or a bit of juxtaposition back to our previous topic. If you want to support IO a bit more, buy it at this price point. I don't know.
Yeah, why not? Why not?
You want to do? It sounds like it's kind of worth it.
And tune in next week for T's Resident Evil Requiem review. I'm quite excited for that. I might even buy it already just off that review alone, because I am looking for a new game.
It's pretty good. I really enjoyed it, sitting back on the couch, having a good horror movie game to get through. I played Resident Evil Village, was the last one I played. Look, nice. I haven't played all the Resident Evils. This is definitely a game that calls back to the originals.
Cool.
So if you can remember those, that's great. It's heavily storied around Leon and all that kind of FBI stuff that he went through, and I can't remember the exact organization that he works for, but that original
Umbrella?
OG organization, it's something like that. It's like the AFP or the AFS or something like that.
Police unit or something.
Bio,
right.
Investigation, but it's a hell of a game. So I couldn't recommend it high enough. I'll definitely review it next week for sure.
Let's do it.
Follow us on everything. We're the Evening Gamer podcast on most things. Email us if you have a question, info@theeveninggamer.com.au. Tune in next week. Give us a rating as well if you listen on Spotify or Apple. 4 or 5 stars if it suits you. But most importantly, don't be an NPC.
Keep leveling up, everyone. All the best.
Thanks, everyone.